So now I'm like, wait.
Working on the weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual. Niggas swear they passed us, they doing too much. Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. Virgil got a paddock on my wrist going nuts. Niggas caught me slipping once, okay, so what? Someone hit
Hey crew, welcome back to my channel for another video. For those of you who are new, my name is Bridgette and I am heading to work. I'm currently in the airport trying to commute to New York. I'm working a 3-day domestic trip. So I wanted to do the intro before I forgot. And I'll see you guys in the next clip. And I am tired, you guys. I just came to come on and open this vlog. I am at my layover hotel in San Diego. It is currently 2:49 a.m. East Coast time, which is 11:49 p.m. West Coast time. And I have a short layover, so we will have to continue this conversation tomorrow. A lot happened on that flight, and I will get you guys up to speed once I get some rest. So have a good night, and I'll see you in the next clip. Good morning. It is day 2 of 2. We have a lot to talk about, and clearly I was really tired last night because half the stuff that I wanted to do I did not get accomplished, which number one was putting these camera batteries on the charger. But I wanted to shout out a subscriber really quickly because she was very sweet enough to send me a Amazon gift card. A few vlogs back when I had that LA layover and I was sharing with you guys that someone tried to open my room door, I was talking about how I needed to buy one of the door alarm stoppers. What is this on my camera? Of course, while I'm talking to you, the battery dies. But anywho, yes, one of these alarm things that you put underneath your hotel room door, so if anyone tries to open the door while you're inside the room, it will ring off the alarm to alert them and to alert you. Hey crew, really quickly, while I was editing this video, I wanted to talk about the door alarm device that I was just talking about and tell you a quick story that happened to me using it the first time. You'll later find out when I used it in this vlog, but I can still tell the story right now. So I got to my layover hotel, I set it up. We were very delayed. It was a long day. I was exhausted. Went to sleep. Cool. No problem. Somewhere in the middle of the night, I'm hearing something that sounds like an alarm. So it jumps me out of my sleep. And my heart is beating so hard. I'm trying to figure out where the alarm is coming from. And then I instantly think, oh my gosh, someone's in my room because I put this door alarm device out for the first time. Fun fact, you guys see that I wear glasses, I wear contacts. I am basically close to legally blind with a little exaggeration, but still. So it's pitch black in the room. I can't see anything because it's dark and because I can't see. And I am scared. Like, I'm trying to figure out where this noise is coming from. My hands are shaking because I was literally jumped out of my sleep. Come to find out, you guys, it wasn't even the door alarm device. It was the alarm clock in the room. Someone set it to some ungodly hour and woke me up. So I had to turn the lights on, find my glasses to figure out how to turn this off completely and not just on snooze. And then I tried to go back to sleep. But because I was so startled, it took me a while to like calm myself down, wind back down, and go back to sleep. So that was just my little funny story for you for this device. And yeah, let's get back to the vlog. So I purchased it, so thank you so much again. Yes, a huge thank you to Carolyn Chambliss. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Thank you so much for sending me the gift card in my P.O. box. Now, clearly I didn't think this through because I know better. Like, I knew that this was gonna have batteries, but did I pack the batteries? No, I didn't. So next trip that I work, I'll be sure to put the battery in the box with this so that I can try it out. And if I like it, I will link it down below in my Amazon storefront because I purchased it off of Amazon. But thank you again, Carolyn, for sending me the gift card. That was really nice of you. I really appreciate it. So while I'm getting ready for work, I thought, why not, you know, kill two birds with one stone. A saying my mom always used to say to me as a child, and talk to you guys while ironing my clothes. Like I said, like 2 clips ago, this is day 2 of 2. We'll start with present day, and we have 2 legs today. I laid over in San Diego last night. This is a PM trip, which is something that I do not like, and it is a West Coast trip. Another thing I do not like, and funny enough, this is my like first domestic trip in months. So today we have 2 legs. We work San Diego to Minneapolis, and Minneapolis to Kansas City. And I am the most senior person on this trip. So we're gonna put out positive vibes that today's uneventful, because I do think I have a migraine trying to creep up and take me out, and I'm trying to be proactive and take my medicine so that it doesn't get the best of me. But other than that, we're sending out positive vibes that today is going to be uneventful, because yesterday surely was not. So yesterday we had 1 leg, JFK to San Diego. It was like a pink eye, which is similar to a red eye, but is not a red eye. It got in at 10 p.m. local time, which was like, sorry, it got in 11 p.m. local time, which was like almost 2 a.m. East Coast time. But the flight had a medical, and it just wasn't handled. You know, everyone handles things differently. Everyone handles emergencies differently, and how I may have handled something may not be how the next person will. And that's one thing that I have to keep in mind when dealing with instances like that. So we had a medical emergency. We dealt with that. But before we even left New York, this is an aircraft that has the blue juice, which is what I call it in the lavatories. So when you flush the toilet, that blue liquid clears the toilet bowl. And I guess they were having a problem, or they didn't fill it or something like that. And surprisingly enough, anytime I've seen it being serviced, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you have to do it inside the aircraft. So they come on with the blue juice in a bucket and pour it in the toilet. I don't know how it exactly works, because I don't go in there with them when they're doing that. But anywho, so the gentleman came on to service the lavatories at the end of boarding. Like literally boarding was finished, and he went around to the different lavatories on the plane and was doing what he needed to do. So the gate agent comes down and he's asking us, like, are we ready to close the door? At this point, a few minutes had passed from the time the lab service individual had come on the plane. So I don't think we noticed that he hadn't exited the aircraft. So, you know, we do what we need to do. They close the boarding door. We're going to our respective doors that we're responsible for. And all of a sudden, I see the guy come out one of the labs. So now I'm like, wait, the other girl's trying to shuffle to get the phone, and I'm calling the flight attendant who is at the boarding door. Like, that's his door that he's responsible for. And I'm like, wait, like, the lab service guy is still on the plane. Like, we have to open the door back. So the gentleman who was servicing the labs, has no idea that he's stuck on the plane, that the door is closed, until he gets up to the front. So they had to try and like get the attention of the gate agent on the jet bridge, which they can't hear us because the boarding door is closed, to come and open the door. So that was like a funny instance that happened in the beginning of the flight. But yeah, without going into too much details, EMTs met the plane. We paid for a doctor on board, and that's all I'm pretty much going to share about that. But what was so strange, so there was this strange passenger who was sitting in like the section that was closest to my jump seat. And she was traveling with multiple people, but they weren't all sitting together. They were all sitting in different rows. During deplaning, she was on this iPad literally the whole flight, guys. The flight was 5 hours and 35 minutes. From the time she sat down, excuse me, to the time it was time to get off the plane, she was on that iPad. She left the iPad on the plane. I was like, what? This iPad, I'm surprised you left it because it was glued to her hands. So I'm bringing the iPad up, and then another flight attendant's like, yeah, someone left an iPhone. And then when we brought it to the gate agents, one of the gate agents was like, yeah, someone left an Apple Watch too. So I was like, today is just the lost Apple products day because people are leaving some expensive items. And that was a big iPad. It was like the Pro kind. So, did you guys hear that? Somebody got something going on either in the room next to me or in the hallway. Anywho, I did my due diligence. I don't know why that word always gets me. I can never pronounce it. And I tried to find the lady because I knew what she looked like. And I knew some of the people's faces that she was traveling with because they were sitting there where I was sitting. In the airport before we headed to the hotel, but I didn't see her. But luckily enough, the person who left their phone, the flight attendant who found the phone knew exactly who the person was and found them and gave them instructions on to who to contact to get their phone. So hopefully the lady noticed her iPad was missing before she got home, or if she was not from San Diego before she got to her final destination, because I know the feeling of forgetting or losing your iPad, because it happened to me in a vlog. I don't know where I was going. It was either London or Amsterdam, one of the two, and I left my iPad in Terminal 2. That's beside the fact. I've been flapping my gums for long enough. That's pretty much it for the crew debriefing. Thank you guys for all of the birthday wishes. It was a very quiet birthday. I was not feeling better to celebrate, so I will celebrate in the near future. But thank you again for all of your wishes. That was very sweet of you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Good afternoon, crew. This is dead. 3:58, and I'm about to meet up, PM, sorry. I'm about to meet up with a crew member to go and get an early dinner. We haven't talked. I showed you that little montage last night, but once I get back, we'll have a crew debriefing about yesterday because it was very eventful, and we'll go from there. So it is extremely cold outside. It's 21 degrees, so I am layered up. You can't see what I have on, but I'll show you guys in a quick second. Because we have a walk. It's not a long walk, but we still have to walk to our destination, and I want to be warm, so I'm not wearing my I'm not wearing my layover coat. Sorry, you guys. Clearly I can't multitask. I'm wearing my work coat because it's long and my layover coat is thin. So I am going to try my best to get you guys some footage of Kansas City while I'm out and show you what I eat and everything. So the lighting here is not too good, but you probably can't even see what I have on. I have on a matching activewear set from Primark in Amsterdam. This cropped sweater, because it's not a hoodie because it doesn't have a hood, is from H&M in London, and then I have on these Nike sneakers. That's about it. I will see you guys in the next clip, wherever that will be. So bye.
Are you on your way? Are you coming soon to me? No parking in LA, so I'ma send an Uber to your place. It's my secret safe, safe with just you and me. We can't leave a trace. This is my favorite mistake. Oh, look in my eyes.
You guys, it is so cold outside. It said it was 21 degrees, but when I left, let me see if it's actually still 21. I'll be right back. It's 19 now. Oh my gosh. So, I just came back from Yard House with my crew member. Hopefully you guys just saw a little montage, if it came out properly. Okay, crew, I'm back. Change of scenery, change of outfit. But I want to make sure that I come back and speak to you guys and do the crew debriefing from yesterday before I started getting ready for tomorrow, because I have an early pickup and this doesn't want to stay. All right. So this is a 3-day domestic trip, but it's basically 2 working days because we have a 30-hour layover in Kansas City. So yesterday I did 2 legs. I did JFK to Atlanta and Atlanta to Kansas City. So the first flight was 100% full, which is really to be expected with any JFK Atlanta flight, or New York Atlanta flight, I should say. And it left a little bit late because the inbound aircraft was late, and you know, it took a little bit of a time to deplane, clean, cater, and all of the above. So we get to Atlanta, and our next flight is also delayed because our inbound aircraft is late and our pilots were going to be late. So we get on the plane, and the plane's not clean. So we wait some time for them to clean the plane. We ended up leaving Atlanta at the time we were supposed to arrive in Kansas City. But on that flight, we had a medical emergency, which, you guys, the last trip I worked that had a Kansas City layover, we had a medical emergency, just not on the day that we had the Kansas City layover. So I'm starting to think Kansas City is a curse, because 2 medical emergencies back to back. I'm not going to go into the details of what actually happened with the emergency because I want to respect people's privacy, but I will tell you that I never really noticed how nosy people are, but one of the flight attendants brought up a good statement and was comparing it to just like how, you know, when there's an accident on the road or on the beltway, highway, whatever you call it, and it builds up traffic because people are rubbernecking. Comment down below if you use that term. My mom used it as I was growing up, so that's what I call it, but comment down below if you call it something else when the people are basically being nosy, trying to pay attention to what's going on the side of the road for the accident. So basically it was the same like that for the medical emergency. So we're trying to get everything into place. There's different actions that have to be done, different roles that people take and stuff like that. So we're doing all of that. Everything's going smooth. We paid for medical assistance, and one of the flight attendants is getting all the medical equipment, and I'm going to assist her. And as I'm trying to go assist her, this little girl, she wasn't even little, but this girl was like, excuse me, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's happening. It's like loud, and I'm just like ignoring it because, you know, it's not time for me to really entertain that. But I just found it strange that her father didn't say anything because she was really loud. And maybe I should look in the mindset of, I don't know if there's something cognitive going on in her aspect, so that could be a possibility, or she just was being nosy. And then after that, while I'm still assisting the other flight attendant, I come to the back again and a passenger stops me and he's like, oh, you guys are paging for medical assistance. And I was thinking maybe, you know, he was also a medical professional and he wanted to go see if he needed to offer his help to the other medical professional who volunteered. And I was like, oh, are you a medical professional? He's like, oh, no, I just want to know what's happening. Guys, I just kept walking because we're still in the middle of this medical emergency, and the audacity for you to stop me when you see I'm moving with purpose just blows my mind. So, needless to say, yesterday was a very long day. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things of vlogging my trips. It's really difficult because I took such a long break that I had to be mindful to remember to record stuff for you guys. So I know this vlog is going to be both of those Kansas City trips put together because I didn't vlog much on the last one, but please bear with me. One other news that I wanted to say was thank you so much for getting me to 5K subscribers, you guys. I hit my goal before the end of the year, so I'm so thankful and grateful to you. Who would have thought my channel would have grown to this amount? And I look forward to see where it goes in the future. What else did I want to share with you guys? I think that's it. So tomorrow is go home day. We don't even like saying that word, so let me knock on wood before I jinx myself. Okay, that one was better. We have 2 legs. Tomorrow's gonna be a really long day. Oh, that's what I was saying. Clearly you can see my brain's all over the place. Yesterday was a long day. We didn't get to the hotel until 3 o'clock in the morning. So that B-roll that I gave was all that I had in me, and I slept. And I'm a morning person, fun fact. I slept until like 1 p.m. today because I was so exhausted. But tomorrow, we have 2 legs, which is going to be another long day. We do Kansas City to Seattle, Washington, Seattle, Washington to JFK. So I think that's it for me tonight. I will try and come back and speak to you guys in the morning, but I'm not promising, so I will see you in the next clip. Good morning, crew. It is 6:29 a.m. It's go home day. I'm about to head downstairs to go catch our transportation back to the airport. Like I said last night, we have 2 legs today, Kansas City to Seattle, Seattle to JFK. So we're gonna cross our fingers, put out positive vibes that today is uneventful, and I will see you guys later. So see you in the next clip. Hey crew, so it is the day after my 3-day trip. I got home really late last night. That's why I did not come back and do a crew debriefing, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I know I keep repeating that over and over and over, but it's been so long since I've like vlogged diligently, so I kind of feel rusty. Sorry, I gotta get the tripod because my hand will not be able to withstand holding this camera for a length of time. So, as I spoke to you guys, I'm not even sure where the last time was. I had 2 flights yesterday on go home day. We did Kansas City to Seattle, and then Seattle to New York. Both flights were uneventful, just how we like it. I was really thankful for that because, as you guys know, we had a medical on day 1 of the trip. So, uneventful, no problems. Both flights were oversold, meaning every single seat was taken. And then on the second flight, we flew on one of my airline's newer Airbus 321s that has a new configuration. For those of you who are not familiar with that means, different airlines could have the same aircraft, but the inside of the aircraft, how the seats are, where the bathrooms are, where the galleys are different. So that's the configuration. And this is a newer version of a aircraft that we already have, but it is configured different. So that was nice to see a difference in this aircraft. It kind of addressed some of the problems we were having as a work group with that specific aircraft. Excuse me, but not to get too much into all of that. So last night, well, let's rewind a bit. As you guys know, I told you I was mashing the 2 trips, Kansas City trips together. The first Kansas City trip, we're going to talk about that. We were delayed. I don't know if I said this already in the vlog. If I did, I'll fast forward through this whole part. We were delayed leaving Atlanta to come back to New York because our original aircraft was struck by lightning, which meant we had to wait for another aircraft. They had to do a plane swap because that plane had to go out of service to be checked to make sure it's okay to fly, blah, blah, blah. So that kind of pushed back our arrival into New York. And for those of you who are new or are not aware, I do not live in New York. I am a commuter. So I was trying to catch the last flight of the night back home. We ended up making up time, but what is seeming to happen more frequently is that you're waiting, you land early, but then there's someone at your gate. So you're waiting on the tarmac so your gate can be free. Then you wait even longer for a gate agent to show up. I'm not blaming anyone, but it just seems like there's no point of going or arriving early if you're still going to end up being late. Anywho, because I'm rambling. I need to get it together. Because of that, I had a very, and I mean very small window to try and make my flight home that trip. The commuting gods were on my side that night because if you're familiar with Terminal 4 and Terminal 2, Terminal 4 starts on the B gate side at B20 upstairs. We came into B20. Now, the downfall was my commuting flight was not in Terminal 4. It was in Terminal 2. So I had to ride the shuttle over to Terminal 2. But the benefit of coming into B20 meant that the shuttle location was just downstairs. And then in Terminal 2, my gate to leave was C60, which is right upstairs once we get off the shuttle. So my heart's beating fast. I'm running. I get to Terminal 2. I'm literally running to get upstairs. And I get to the gate. And at first I didn't see anyone, but the door was still open. I was like, thank you, thank you. I'm breathing hard. The gate agent there, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if we'll be able to let you on. And I'm like trying to breathe, catch my breath and talk. I'm like, why? Like the door's still open. I'm on the flight, like explaining it to him. So he goes and speaks to the gate agent that's down at the plane to make sure that the boarding door had not been closed yet. And she comes up and it's like, yeah, the pilot saw you running and told us that if she's on this flight to let her on. So I was so thankful, you guys. Like, you don't know how much that meant to me because the struggle of commuting is real. Like, I thanked that crew and I asked them to thank the pilots profusely because it meant so much to me. It was literally, if I didn't make that flight, which was the last flight of the night, I would have had to spend $115 to take the Amtrak at 3 a.m. in the morning, which meant that I would have been sitting in JFK for about 4 hours until I had to make my way over to Penn Station. So it saved me a lot of money and time, and I was just so thankful. Now let's fast forward to the trip that I just ended yesterday. So there was no delay. We left on time. We actually left early. We arrived early, and once again, our gate was occupied. We were waiting for a gate agent, and we were supposed to come in at the gate right next door to my commuting flight. So I was like, cool. It's going to be cutting it close, but I'm right next door. What could happen? So we wait. They finally find a gate agent to drive the jet bridge to let the passengers off. And in the process of that, the flight got pushed back a little bit, which was in my benefit, my commuting flight I'm talking about. But from them pushing it back, they changed it to another gate. So when I finally got off the plane, I'm running through the airport again. But this time, you guys, I was too late. When I arrived at the gate agent was already pulling the jet bridge back from the aircraft, meaning that the boarding door was closed and I was not getting on that flight because they're not going to reopen the boarding door for me. So, I was a little bummed out about that because that was a 8:50 flight, and the next flight was going to be 10:55 that I was going to try for, but I went from being number 1 on the standby list to number 31 in the time of like 2 or 3 hours with 3 seats or something like that. It just did not look possible. So I was like, now getting nervous, like, how am I going to get home? And I was able to get on another flight to another airport. So that's how I made it home. There's nothing really to talk about the trip itself, because while it was a 3-day, to me it was a fake 3-day because I only worked 2 days, but I was gone 3 days. The crew was very nice. I went out to dinner with one of the crew members, which I think I'm showing you in this vlog. And that's about it. Once again, I want to thank you guys so much for getting me to 5K subscribers. I really appreciate it. And if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay safe and see you soon.